Hi everybody, I'm back. I'm doing them all in one day here. This is the third video in the Healing Heart series. The first video was an overview of awareness and what's involved in being aware. The second video was about thoughts. It was a very high level video about thoughts and beliefs and where they come from and what they mean, right? And now this video is about our feelings, okay? So feelings is like one of those icky subjects like that we don't like to talk about, right? We all, it seems like anyway, and like from a societal perspective, like feelings are like, ooh, let's stay away from those, you know. We don't want to talk about our feelings, you know. We just want to, you know, run away from our feelings, or people project their feelings onto other people. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic. The reason we bring up feelings here is because all these things are linked, right? They're all related. If we have awareness, right? So we'll break it down as an example. If we have awareness that we have thoughts, right? We think over 70,000 thoughts a day. Last I knew. You know, there's all different numbers on there, but from what I've heard on several occasions, it's over 70,000 thoughts a day come into our head, right? Now, the key with that is based upon our beliefs, right, which we talked about in the last video, and our experiences and where we came from and our families of origin and everything that goes with that, which we went, you know, I spoke about a lot in the last video. Whatever we think creates how we feel, right? So they're linked. Thoughts and feelings are connected. Now, a lot of times you'll hear people say, it's very common that when something happens, right? As an example, maybe like say an easy example would be like in a relationship, like, oh, he did this, he did that, right? And my thought is he's terrible for doing that. He's an awful person. He's terrible. He did this to me. You know, how dare he do that to me? That's a common one, right? And then we get upset, right? We get angry, mostly, a lot of times, and with that type of dialogue, right? We get angry. So this is a lot to do with thoughts and beliefs and conditioning, but it's also like a societal belief as well that people are, you know, situations, circumstances, people are terrible, they're awful, we're victims of other people's behavior, right? We're victims of other people saying and doing things that cause us to feel a certain way, right? That's big. It's huge. You know, this person cheated on me, so of course I'm going to be angry, you know, and I'm going to be upset, and he's the worst thing that ever happened. How dare he do that to me? And I feel terrible about myself, whatever, right? You can come up with so many different scenarios with that one. But the point becomes is we have a thought about what that person did and or didn't do, right? And then the thought that we have creates the feeling within us, right? So we think the person's responsible for what we're feeling. But the truth is we're responsible for what we attach to what someone else is doing or not doing, right? So the goal for your health and your healing and your well-being, and it applies to everybody, is to manage your own internal. This is big. This goes with energy as well, which will be in the next video. We are responsible for our own well-being, our own inner compass, if you will, our own inner balance, right? Our own inner peace, right? We're responsible for that. And when we get to that place, and it's not an easy thing, it's a process usually to get to that place where you are centered and balanced within, and you love yourself as a divine being of love, light and love that was created for the betterment of the world, right? In some way, shape, or form. When we live from that loving heart space for ourselves and for others, we can detach from the behavior of others, right? And we can detach from it and detach from assigning a judgment to it. Good, bad, right, wrong, terrible, whatever, however we want to do it, right? And if we detach from the behavior of others and have compassion for them, that they are acting and behaving in a way that they have done or known or was taught, however it comes about, right? That's their truth. That's their experience, right? It doesn't have to be accepted internally within us, right? If we can step back and be an observer of someone else, whatever they're doing, however they're behaving, and just be an observer with no emotion, right? Just flat. And people, will challenge that. Well, if you love someone, you can't. That's not true. You can love someone and love yourself and be centered and balanced within, so that whatever happens to them, around them, for them, you can love them through it without causing your own inner imbalance, right? That's big. That's really big, because we see it all the time in society. It's reinforced over and over again all the time that, well, this person did that, so now I have to go act out over here, right? And do this or that because this happened over there. Or with a person, like that person did that and it upsets me so much, and now I have this, so it's their fault. It isn't. When we're fully healed inside and balanced and at peace and loving ourselves and accepting ourselves without judgment, and loving and accepting all creatures, all beings unconditionally without judgment, then we're detaching from that victimization that a lot of people fall into when they say that, oh, well, I can't be happy because of this, or I can't be happy because of that, or when I have this, I'll be happy, or when I have that, I'll be happy, or when this person does this, I'll be happy, or when I get a job there, I'll be happy, or when I'm doing this, I'll be happy, when I'm not doing that, I'll be happy. So we put conditions on everything, right? And then we use that as excuses too for why we're not happy. But if we're truly centered and balanced and grateful and thankful and appreciative for being here, being alive, right? And grateful and thankful for all that we are, all that we have been in the past, all that we will be in the future, we can live from such a beautiful, beautiful higher place. It's a higher vibrational place, which I'll talk about that more in the next video. But the point that I'm making with this is that our feelings are our responsibility, no one else's, just ours, right? And you'll see this just as a quick, example. You'll see this a lot in interpersonal relationships, And society reinforces it, like if we're in love, or, we're in love with somebody, or they're in love with me. Um, a lot of times what happens is, from an ego-based place, with what we have around us now, when someone says, oh, I'm in love with that person, the way they make me feel, that's the problem right there, okay? Because that's not really love. They make me feel a certain way. Well, what happens when you stop feeling that certain way? It's conditional, right? Oh, he makes me feel great about myself. I'm so in love with him. He makes me feel great about myself, right? And then the minute their behavior changes, and since you're tapped into their behavior and how they make you feel, the minute it changes, now I don't feel good anymore, because, they're not making me feel good. Now I'm out, right? I'm out. I don't feel good anymore. I'm out. Well, that's not real love. That's it is kind of like, my opinion here, obviously, it is kind of like an ego-based thing where others make us feel a certain way, so then we love them. The point is, if you love yourself unconditionally, you accept yourself unconditionally, you're balanced internally, all your emotions are balanced, you're rooted, you're grounded, right? You have support around you, right? You have a foundation in which we can talk about that as well, in a different video. But if you come from that place and you love yourself and you're at peace, when you're in an interpersonal relationship, you can love the person for who they are as a human being, who they are in the world, right? Who they are, not how they make you feel. Because when you love them for who they are, right? They're funny, and they have a good personality, and if you love them for who they truly are, when they're in their natural, authentic self, in their natural self-expression, whatever it is, if you truly love them from that place, from your heart, your full heart, right? Because you're already full inside yourself. So when you love them with your full heart and your full self, that's all, I'm good. I don't need anyone to love me, because I already love me and I'm already good. And now now I'm involved, or I love someone for who they are and how they move in the world, and how they express themselves, and their personality and their dignity and their honor and all those things, then you're loving the authentic person, right? And once you love the authentic person, you have a love for that person. And it's not like, well, now you're not making me feel this way or that way, right? So that's where in society, a lot, obviously with the divorce rates as they are, that's where things go like really left. Because he makes me feel great, and he does this for me and that for me. And control is not love, right? Some people think that when they control another person, it makes them feel empowered, and that's not love. Controlling a person is not love. Loving a person is loving their authentic, divine expression on this earth, right? And not what they do, not necessarily, I kind of gave some of their characteristics before, but that might be attractive. But it's not about doing, it's about being who they are as a person. How do they exist in the world? Who are they here to be, right? When you love who they are as their expression, then you have a better chance long term, right? When you enjoy everything about them, right? And you love who they are and who they represent from their core, at what their core expression is, right, on this earth, then you have a better chance. When it's about me, how you make me feel, it's not going to go good. And it's not going to last. And there's going to be a lot of troubles along the way, right? And it's unfortunate because that's how a lot of us are conditioned to, and societally as well, right? Oh, what's his bank account? What's his assets? You know, what kind of car does he drive? Is he educated or not? Like all those external things don't mean anything, right? Because if someone gets an illness or has an accident or loses all those things, then where are you at, right? Where are you at? You're not in a good place, right? Because the love needs to be from an authentic heart space, right? Two hearts connecting in divine love and light for each other, right? Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm kind of like rambling on because it's just so important, right? To factor into our feelings, right? Being aware of our feelings, that our thoughts create our feelings, and that creates our expressions, right? And it plays into how we can heal our hearts, right? Coming from a healing heart space. Okay, so that's the end of that video. Thanks for watching this long. I know I'm kind of rambling on because this information is awesome to me and it's exciting to share it with others. So, all right, I'll see you on the next video. Bye.